Hello, fellow food lovers. Today I will be making beef and broccoli stir fry. You will need half a pound of beef, 1 pound of broccoli, and half a medium onion. For the sauce, you're going to need 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of chicken powder, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and 4 pieces of garlic. For the beef marinade, you will need Chinese white pepper, Chinese cooking wine, soy sauce, sesame oil, and cooking oil. Okay, so I have half a pound of beef thinly sliced, and I'm going to marinate it now. So I'm going to give it a dash of Chinese white pepper powder, a splash of sesame oil, a splash of Chinese cooking wine, a splash of soy sauce, and some cooking oil. So I'm going to massage the sauce into the meat. You could use your fingers, or you could use chopsticks, or a spoon, or a fork. So I got some garlic here, 4 cloves. I'm going to smash it with the side of my knife, and then I'm going to mince it. So with beef and broccoli, it has a pretty strong kind of garlic flavor to it, so you want to use at least 4 cloves. And then I have a quarter of an onion. I'm going to slice it, thin slices. And I have 2 crowns of broccoli. So I'm going to give the broccoli a rinse. Broccoli can be fairly dirty, so you want to give it a good clean. I'm going to chop the base off, and I'm going to cut the florets into 2 to 3 pieces each, depending on how big it is. You want it to be kind of bite-sized. If you like big pieces of broccoli, you can maybe leave it at double the size too. And you want to use the base too, so I cut that into 3-4 pieces. It's edible. Okay, so I cut the second head of broccoli as well. So there was 2 heads of broccoli. Okay, so I'm going to pour 2 tablespoons of oil into the hot wok. Give that a swirl, and I'm going to add the beef. So beef and broccoli is a pretty well-known dish in Chinese restaurants, especially here out in the West. It's pretty much a staple. I don't know how popular beef and broccoli is in China. I don't think broccoli is that famous, but out here it certainly is. And so it usually has a garlic and an onion component to it to give it a kind of a kick. So a few minutes have cooked, a few minutes have passed by, and the beef is kind of half cooked to 3/4 cooked. And then when it is, you want to take it out, and you can finish cooking it when you add it to the veggies. Okay, so I washed the wok and I heated it up again. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. So sometimes when you marinate the beef, you have a lot of liquid in there from the Chinese cooking oil, the Chinese cooking wine and the soy sauce. So you could drain some of that liquid off before you add it into the wok so that the meat can actually fry instead of kind of boil in liquid. Yeah, so if it's too much sauce in your marinade, just drain it out before you throw the meat in the wok. Okay, so I added the garlic and the onion into the wok and I'm stir frying it. So you want the onion and garlic to be kind of lightly browned before you add the broccoli. You want to kind of get it to infuse flavors into the oil first. Okay, so a couple minutes have gone by and the onion and garlic has kind of browned. So we're going to add the broccoli now. So you want to make sure that there's some oil on the bottom of the wok before you add the broccoli, because the oil will help brown the broccoli. So if it looks a little dry down there after the garlic and the onion's been cooking, add a bit more oil. You don't want to be stir frying the broccoli in a dry wok. It's not going to work. You need that oil to help with the stir fry. Not a lot of oil, maybe another tablespoon or so. Yeah. So you let cook for a while, and then you bring up the bottom to the top, so the top can come to the bottom and cook and have everything evenly fried. So you want to do that for maybe 3-4 minutes. And then, so 3-4 minutes have gone by. You could tell by the color of the broccoli that's a little bit partially cooked. So you're going to add water now, 1 cup of water, and we're going to make the sauce. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. One tablespoon of soy sauce. And 1 teaspoon of chicken powder. So I'm going to give that a stir. Get the sauces mixed in with the water. Then we're going to add the beef to that so the beef can finish cooking. So the beef is already like half to 3/4 cooked already before you added it into the broccoli. So we're going to put a lid over that. We're going to help steam the broccoli a bit more. So we're going to have the lid on there for another minute or two. You don't want to overcook the broccoli. You don't want it too soft or soggy. Like most stir fries, you want the vegetables to be kind of fresh and crisp. Okay, so we're going to make the cornstarch slurry. So we're going to use 1 heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. And then we're going to add 1/4 cup of water to that. And then give it a stir, have the cornstarch dissolved into the water. Okay, so broccoli can cook quite quickly. You don't want it to be cooked until it's soft and mushy. You like it to be kind of crunchy when you're eating it, crunchy and fresh tasting. So yeah, so you don't want to have the lid on there for more than 2 minutes. It's going to cook quite fast. Okay, we're going to add the cornstarch slurry to the stir fry. Then we're going to stir it around, make sure the sauce is properly thickened, and then it's ready to serve. Okay, give that a stir. Turn off the heat and grab a serving dish. So if you find that there's quite a bit of gravy in the bottom of your stir fry and you want the serving to be more dry, you don't have to dump all that sauce into the serving dish. You can actually leave a lot of that sauce behind if you find it's a little too wet for your taste. Okay, so like I'm bringing the broccoli and the beef in there and leaving some sauce just so it doesn't look like it's soup. Okay, there you have it. That's beef and broccoli, Canadian Chinese, old school, takeout style. Of course, you can get beef and broccoli in almost any restaurant, in any Chinese restaurant in the West for sure, but this is the style in Canadian Chinese restaurants. Okay, bon appetit.